And now we've come to the 11th chapter, The Monkey and the Old Lady. During the harvest season, Tank and I often hid behind a thick bush and waited for monkeys to come steal the crops. When they sneaked into the field, I would give the signal to Tank to charge the monkey thieves. Tank would roar really loud while I yelled and shot at them with my slingshot. We tried to scare them away, but they always came back a few days later. Sometimes they knew where we were hiding and made faces at us from a distance, or did somersaults on the plants to taunt us. The river that crosses the rice field in front of our hamlet was a lifeline, not only for the people of our hamlet, but also for all the animals from the nearby jungle and mountains. Man and beast came to the river daily, but unlike the other wild animals, which came to the river only at night in order to avoid humans, monkeys came to it any time they wanted to, often after having just stolen some food from the field. These monkeys were so intelligent that the farmers could not get rid of them. They avoided the most ingenious traps, and there were not enough guns to shoot them down from a distance, so we had to learn how to live with them, and to make the best use of them we could. A fully grown male monkey can weigh 50 kilos. With its intelligence and agility, it can be a good fighter, but it usually has no heart for fighting. However, although it can be the most cowardly of all the animals in the jungle, it can also be the most malicious. A small boy with a stick can chase a whole herd of wild monkeys if he acts brave and looks fierce. But if he doesn't look fierce, the monkeys will turn on him and kill him. Nevertheless, most of the people in our hamlet kept a monkey or two in their houses for certain purposes, such as picking coconuts or hunting squirrels, or just as pets. But they were kept in strong cages or chained to sturdy poles or trees. One day, an old lady who was a friend of our family's showed my mother a baby monkey that had been born in captivity. Because the old lady had no children or other relatives left, she dearly loved her baby monkey. Each day she carried the monkey around in one hand like a newborn child, and in the other hand she carried a bottle of milk. Things went well for 6 months, and then the monkey began to behave mischievously. My mother suggested the monkey be chained to a tree because if it tried to run away, the old lady was too slow to catch it. When the old lady hesitated, my mother said, "My good friend, you should not only chain your monkey to a tree, but also inspect the chain every day. You came to live in our hamlet only a short while ago, and you may not know how mischievous, malicious, and unpredictable these monkeys can be. Quite a few years back, when I was still a young girl, there was a butcher living with his wife and his 2-year-old daughter at the edge of our hamlet. The butcher had a monkey chained to a pole above his pigsty. He had the strange idea that its tricks might entertain the hogs below and make them grow faster. Each day he went about his job cutting up meat under the watchful eyes of the monkey. One evening, his neighbor next door invited him and his wife to dinner. Because they were afraid their 2-year-old daughter might disturb their hosts, they left her sleeping quietly in the cradle. Since the two houses were separated only by a thin bamboo wall, they could get back immediately to their house if the child woke up and wanted them. During the dinner, the monkey managed to get loose from its chain. It grabbed the same knife that the butcher used to kill hogs and ran into the house and slaughtered the child, cutting it into pieces exactly as the butcher did the hogs. The child did not cry or make any noise, so perhaps the monkey killed it when it was sound asleep. When the couple got home, the sight of their dismembered child horrified them. Their cries of distress gathered many friends who began a thorough search of the area for the monkey, but the monkey had already disappeared into the jungle a few hundred meters away. The butcher was never the same again. For many years afterward, he constantly looked for his monkey, but he never found it. Sometimes people saw him, haggard, roaming the jungle. Reluctantly, the old lady listened to my mother's story, but she seemed to love and trust the little monkey as much as the day it was born. She continued to take good care of it, and she was so proud when it learned how to shake hands with her. Here's a picture of the old woman and the monkey and the bananas. When the monkey was 2 years old, it was much bigger and stronger than most monkeys in the area because the old lady had fed it well. People saw her talking to the monkey for hours, as if it understood everything she said. Sometimes she woke up in the middle of the night and missed her monkey so much that she lit a candle and went out to see if it was all right. Every 3 days, she went to the marketplace to buy food for herself and bananas for her monkey. Since matches were very scarce at the time, whenever she left home for such a journey, she buried the burning embers in the hearth under a thick layer of ashes in order to keep the fire going. One morning, she buried the burning embers, said goodbye to her monkey, and left for the marketplace as usual. But that day, the monkey managed to get free from its chain after she had left, and the first thing it did was to dig out the burning embers and put them on the thatched roof of the house. The house burned down completely. Meanwhile, the monkey seemed to know what it had done to the old lady because it disappeared immediately. When the old lady returned, both her monkey and her house were gone. She cried so hard, not only from sadness, but also from anger. My parents invited her to stay with us until we could raise enough money to build her a new house. After that day, she always carried a stick with her, intending to beat the monkey any time she could lay a hand on the unfaithful beast. My mother thought that she would be too slow to catch the monkey, but she did not try to discourage her from attempting to punish him. One day, the old lady came home very excited. "I saw him. It was him, with a bunch of other wild ones. He made fun of me by jumping up and down. I wanted to teach him a lesson, but he ran away quickly. The next time he will not be so lucky as this time." Soon afterward, a friend of hers recognized her monkey among the wild ones and killed it with a poisoned arrow. He thought that it would please his old friend very much, but when he showed her dead monkey to her, she wasn't happy. Instead, she stared at the dead body and cried for hours.